Welcome to episode 322 of the Thunder Underground podcast. Trent and Jason here as always. And this week we've got a pretty fun one because we had a great conversation with a couple members of Grind and a member of the Normandys.
It was an extravaganza of sorts.
Of sorts, yeah.
Or this episode will be.
That's right.
With everything that we will have entailing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk a bit about that. We're going to play some music. And then get into this conversation with Pete and Dell and a little bit with CJ as well. But first, let's let you know who we're sponsored by. Sunset Tattoo, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Their tattoos are done, get them proper. They're state licensed. They're mother approved. If you give Jake a call or shoot him a message, you can set up a time to talk about what work you need to get done. You can go to Sunset Tattoo Tulsa on Facebook or Instagram to see photos of all his work. Hell, you can go to our Instagram to see at least a single photo of his work because he did a tattoo for me. And I'm very happy with it, and other people have said that they think it's great. So there's you a good solid plug for Jake. And we know several musicians around town and several touring musicians that have had him tattoo them as well. So give Jake a call at Sunset Tattoo and tell him that you heard about him here. Also, we've got Med Farm, a dispensary in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, 24683 East Highway 51. They are cannabis with a cause. 30% of their proceeds go to build no-kill animal shelters. That's like an amazing thing that we're very happy to talk about here. They've got a drive-through. If you call ahead or text ahead, you can place your order and get over there to pick it up. Get in and out quick. Leafly.com is the website where you can see all of the info or all of their selection, which is a pretty large selection. You can find them on Facebook at MedFarmPHRM, Instagram MedFarmOK, and their website is medfarmok.com. Hella Hot Sauce is a hot sauce company based out of the San Francisco Bay Area. They make small batch artisan hot sauces. They collaborate with a lot of musicians. In fact, we've had a couple of them on here. Ghoul has a sauce called Brain Jerk. Florida Frank from Hatebreed has a sauce called Florida Frank's Florida Heat. And even Techno Destructo, formerly of Gwar, has a sauce that we recently got a hold of some of them, and that shit is amazing.
It's fucking awesome. I love it.
It's Garlic Death Grip, and that's a great name for it because it is heavy on the garlic. And I can tell you, personally, I love everything heavy on the garlic.
Yeah, me too. So it works totally.
Yeah. HellaHotHotSauce.com. You can buy it all, and they'll ship it anywhere. If you're on the West Coast, they're in a lot of stores out there as well, so check that out and let them know we sent you. And finally, we've got DEB Concerts, located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They bring a ton of great shows to the downtown Tulsa area, and they also book the Roadhouse stage every year in Rocklahoma. That announcement will be coming shortly in the next few weeks, and we'll be talking about the bands playing Doug's stage there once that announcement comes out. But in the meantime, we can let you know that Lita Ford will be returning to the Ideal Ballroom in downtown Tulsa to put on a show on June 26th. That show will be opened by Straight Shot, and it will be hosted by the one and only Eddie Trunk, who hosts a lot of the shows at the Ideal Ballroom. So get out there, meet Eddie Trunk, and check out a show at the Ideal Ballroom, which is an amazing venue. They've always got great shows. DEBconcerts.com. You can get ticket info there. You can be kept up to date on any of the previous shows that got postponed or any upcoming shows as well, and we'll of course keep you updated here as well. Alright, so this weekend the Return of the Vanguard show is happening.
Right.
Saturday, June 12th, here in just a few days. And I know you kind of came up with this idea like a month ago or something. You're like, we should get one of these guys from the Normandys or Grind on to talk about this show.
Right.
And I think I mentioned, why don't we try to get someone from both bands?
Exactly.
And here we are.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. Made it happen. Well, before we jump into this, is there anything else noteworthy you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I mean, we kind of mentioned this at the end of the interview, but, rest in peace to Metal Dave.
Right.
If you don't know, Metal Dave was a stalwart in the Tulsa music scene. He was always there supporting all the bands. He was the number one fan to many bands around Tulsa, and he unfortunately passed away recently. So just send some good vibes out to all that. Other than that, I'm not sure. It seems like there's something else, like big rock news, but it's not registering with me right now, so.
Right.
Who knows? And it really doesn't fucking matter. I'm excited that we have CJ and Dale and Pete on the show, and that we're playing music from both bands, and the show coming up this weekend. So, we should keep it. We should keep this episode to that.
Well, yeah. Usually
and again, Metal Dave, rest in peace.
Yeah, of course. And like you mentioned, there'll be more talk about Metal Dave in the talk here with Pete and Dale coming up.
Yes.
And that, one more thing to note, like if you're from the Tulsa area and you've been to shows and you're not familiar with the name Metal Dave, if you you go on Facebook and type that in, you're going to see some photos and be like, oh yeah, I've seen that guy.
Yeah, you've definitely seen that guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because he's a pretty memorable dude, not just, in looks, he when he'd talk to you.
Yeah,
you didn't forget you met him.
Right. Stark raving white goatee and a Slayer hat.
Yeah, right.
Rest in peace, for sure.
But yeah, usually we use the other news or the other talk to kind of fill out an episode. But this episode in itself, this talk with coming up is going to be a good hour on its own. So
right,
we don't need that filler, right?
Right. We've got Pete from the Normandys, and we've got Dale and CJ from Grind. They're playing this weekend at the Vanguard, and it's just going to be a damn good time. Yeah.
So like you said, let's play some music then. Let's kick this thing off with the Normandys. This song's called Let Me Believe.
Where did I go wrong from what I once believed? What I wanted, where we lost it from society. And it makes me sick inside to know that nothing's true. And you said it was because of me, and I'm saying that it's you. That I can't win. You sink or swim. I haven't lost my fucking mind. So did I ever have a chance, or did I simply play a part? Was it worth the fight, or was it written right from the start? But it makes me sick inside to know that nothing's true. You said it was because of me, I'm saying that it's you. That I can't win. You sink or swim. I haven't wasted all my time. That I can't win. You sink or swim. I haven't lost my fucking mind. That I can't win. You sink or swim. I haven't wasted all my time. That I can't win. You sink or swim. I haven't lost my fucking mind.
Let Me Believe from the Normandys. That's from their EP, Co-Conspirators of Greater Evils. It came out in 2019. That's a great EP. It's got like 4 tracks on it. It's like 11 minutes long.
That's right.
Because this is punk rock we're talking about.
And it's all killer, no filler.
That's right.
Which is kind of what we deal with here at Thunder Underground.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you have filler on your album, we're not having you on.
No.
But no, the Normandys, you need to check that out if you're not familiar with them outside of that song. Check out that EP. Check out their album from 2016, I think it was, which is fantastic as well. Like you'll hear from Pete coming up. They should have some new stuff later this year as well. But with that being said, now let's play some Grind. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here is Senseless from Grind. Senseless. That was Grind. That's the opening track on their album Leaders of the Free World that came out in 2019 as well. Both these bands had albums come out in 2019, and we might get new music from both of them this year. We'll wait and see, but in the meantime, check out Leaders of the Free World if you have not yet. Lots of great stuff on there. We played several other songs, I think, from that album in the past.
Definitely. I like what they said about this could be the year of the local band. That's one thing to look for in this interview.
Yeah.
So just playing these two songs makes me think about that again. So yeah, I think that's a great point.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are excited to get back out to shows, and while there are national bands touring, those kind of weeks will be filled out by other bands in if you're not from our area or whatever area you're from. Get out there and support whoever's in your area, It's the perfect time to do it. With all that being said, once again, June 12th, this Saturday night at the Vanguard. This show will not just feature the Normandys and Grind, it'll also feature Don't Make Ghosts out of Oklahoma City and R.R. Williams here out of Tulsa.
Right.
Which also features Pete Webb as well.
Exactly.
So that's a great 4-band bill. $10 at the door, or I believe you can get tickets in advance from either of these guys you're about to hear on this podcast or either of the other bands on the bill as well. So be sure to not miss that if you're in our area. We've talked about it, we've also got the same night at Badass Renee's.
Right.
The Green Country Irates debut in Tulsa.
With Stellar Ascent as well.
Oh, that's right. They're on that bill?
Right.
Okay. Very cool. And Sprout is actually pulling a rock star move and playing a show in Wichita at 6 p.m.
Yes.
And then playing Tulsa the same night.
Yes.
So I'd assume at like 10 or 11 p.m. is
right.
Probably.
Yeah.
So he's got a solo act in Wichita at a show there at 6 p.m. And as soon as that finishes, he's packing up and heading towards Tulsa for the Green Country Irate. So you've got options, or you can do like us and just maximize your options and hit up both of them.
Yes, I think that's kind of what we're going to try to do.
Yeah, we were talking about that beforehand.
Like, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? Let's go to this one, then go to this one, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy night no matter what.
That's right. All right. Let's quit talking and get into this. Here's Pete Webb and Del Diver, and a little bit of C.J. McClellan as well.
Fake news.
Yep.
I love it.
I used to go there a lot. I worked for Delta Airlines. And I would just fly in for a
This
day.
motherfucker would just, I want to see the Mets play. I'm going to go.
That's right.
Because that's been my favorite team since I was a kid. So I just fly in, take the subway over to Shea Stadium, and take the subway back and get back home at like midnight.
That's badass.
That's badass.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
If you knew how to do that, I would have no idea. Can someone tell me where to go?
Yeah.
They'd be like, fuck off.
Well, the first time we did it, it took a couple times to get it down. The first time I did it, we walked quite a ways, and we're walking through. I'm trying to remember what little borough we're walking through, and I asked a cop, like, we're trying to get to Shea Stadium. I asked him, we're walking the right way.
Right?
Yeah, like we're walking the right way towards Queens. He's like, you're walking to Queens? And we're like, well, yeah, we're going to Shea Stadium. He's like, you shouldn't be walking to Queens.
Right?
He's like, you go this way, get on the subway right there. And he told us the number and everything. So,
You shouldn't be walking to Queens, right?
Get it?
First time I was in California, I was with some family, and we drove through. We went over the overpass over Compton, the entrance. I was like, dude, let's go to Compton. He's like, we don't go to Compton. Just gonna go. That's all I said. We don't go to Compton. Like, okay, I get it.
When we went to Chicago for Riot Fest, it was on the south side of Chicago. So we parked just like along the street somewhere and had to walk to Douglas Park. So you're walking through the neighborhood, and there's like people out in their porch going, stopping us. Hey guys, are you guys from around here?
You're not.
Are you guys just going to the show? And like, yeah, we're not from here. We're just going to the show. Well, you're on the south side of Chicago. So here's our street number. Here's the street. If something happens, come back here and we'll call 911. You guys need to be careful. And we're like, okay. But thank God nothing happened. But that was weird. Like, okay, some shit could happen.
Yeah. I've been in Memphis. Fuck, yeah. You don't want to be in Memphis, too, after dark. CJ's got a story about Little Rock. Well, remember the story you said you got caught after dark outside of town?
There's a reason why anytime you turn on Cops, fucking Little Rock is on. I was talking to somebody last time, like, I've never one time felt weird in Tulsa. Not once. But there's places in Little Rock, and I grew up there, like, you don't mess around, man. It's very quickly related to you that you don't belong and that you need to be moving on along. But I got locked. Last time I went to Little Rock, I got locked in a convenience store with an angry store owner that was threatening all kinds of bodily harm and violence against me because he didn't like the mask I was wearing. And I was like, dude, just let me out of this store, man.
Wow.
So, Little Rock's crazy. I love you, Little Rock. You're my hometown, but that shit's real.
I've heard that over the last several years, but growing up, I just think Little Rock's Little Rock's one of those nice places in Arkansas.
It's different, man.
I've been through
It's
there.
really good. It's really nice.
Way more chill.
It's really nice when you're on the highway just passing.
Just driving right through. Yeah. Well, should we talk about the Vanguard?
Sure. Let's do it.
Just here a few days away from this is both your guys' first show back, right?
That's right.
Okay, because I know it's the Vanguard's actual first show back.
Yeah. Well, it's not really our first show.
Well,
we played Save the Shrine together.
We did that together, but in our corner, it's the first show for us. We've made a change in the band. We have a new member.
Okay.
We got rid of an old member. It was mutual. It was good trade, but we have a new bass player. His name's Ryan Winkle.
Okay.
And the band is moving forward, and it's good. It's good. So it will be our first show back.
Oh, okay.
And we're excited.
Great.
We're excited. So
Very cool.
Yeah. So the way that worked out is, the Normandys usually do a yearly kind of headlining show there at the Vanguard. So the last time we played our headliner, I booked this date way in advance. So when it started getting close and everything was still questionable, I'm like, messaging them and asking if the show was still going to happen. They said, well, I think it might actually be the first show back for the Vanguard. So it just kind of luck was on our side for being the first show back for the Vanguard. So we're excited.
yeah,
Having Grind along,
we're excited.
Terrific.
I can't wait. I love playing the Vanguard.
Yeah.
Every time.
What is it you guys... I know you've said the same thing. What is it you guys like about that venue?
The sound, the room you have, that's kind of a big thing. I mean, people don't understand. There's a lot of times you play and you can't move.
Oh yeah.
You're like this,
2 or 3 feet in front of the drum riser.
And the Vanguard is nice enough to let us have our own space every time. So, we've played gigs and gigs and gigs and a lot of bands. And you guys, I don't know if you guys are going to backline, but even if you do, there's still plenty of room on that stage. So I've seen Clutch at the Canes 100 years ago. And I saw the singer. What's that singer's guy? What's his name?
Neil Fowler.
Yeah. He's like this. And there's like 3 drum sets just packed back, where Clutch gets the edge. The Vanguard's never done that to us, and it's just a great place. I like it. I love that place. And
I like the all ages aspect
That
of it.
too,
That's a big thing for, when we do, like I said, a headlining show, we like to be able to get everybody there from all age groups. And
the kids get to
push
come.
it out. Yeah.
And it's kind of nice. We played a show, remember, I don't remember, but Drew McKenna was hosting it one night. And my daughter was little bitty. And they brought her up on stage, and She said, Dad, I could do that every night.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, right?
Yeah. It's always cool to make fans of, younger generation and stuff. That's always been really cool.
Well, what about the Vanguard makes it to where they can do that? Do they choose to do that, or like why don't more?
Well, I'm assuming that
Can't
that's something
work.
they choose to do. I mean, I don't know. I'm not familiar with liquor laws and all that.
Because to me,
All that
like
other
them in the
bullshit.
Shrine, it's the same thing. It's just a bar serving liquor that also puts on shows. So, like, yeah, I've always wondered that. Like, why is one
Yeah,
all ages and
It's
one
just
not?
choice. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, I don't know. I have to ask Simon about it, but I assume it's probably just the line in the sand. He's just like, I do this. Because you can serve beer with all ages show. You can't serve liquor.
Oh, okay.
There's a liquor law there.
I see.
yeah.
Yeah, but you can have beer, but you can't have liquor. So
And I
Oh,
don't know
that's
if any
true. The
of that's
Vanguard doesn't
changed.
serve liquor, do they?
no,
Oh, okay, there's your answer.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if any of that has changed with the new laws that we have and all that. I leave that up to the venues.
Right.
I like to just learn
Where we're
how to
at
play
now, it's
music.
like, who cares? Let's do whatever.
Yeah.
Well, go over the other two bands on the bill.
So we have Don't Make Ghosts, and they're from Oklahoma City, and they played with us at the last headlining show. Great band, great guys, and they're actually playing with us the Friday before this show in Oklahoma City. So we're playing 89th Street Friday night with from Parts Unknown out of Texas, Don't Make Ghosts, and a band called Caught Stealing that I think is from Oklahoma City. And then Saturday we do, the show with Grind. Don't Make Ghosts is on that bill again. And then R.R. Williams, which is a band that I'm also playing drums in. And it's Mike Williams from Merlin Mason and the singer for the Agony Scene. And then Dalton plays for The Shame. He's a guitar player.
Gotcha.
And the bass player from the Penny Mob. So it's kind of a group of...
That sounds nice.
Is it punk or metal?
It's punk.
I was about to say, I bet it's punk.
Yeah, it's kind of... I don't know what the genre is, but it's punkish, but it's kind of southern feeling to me. I mean, Mike will probably tell me that I'm
Southern
actually
punk?
crazy for saying
You
that.
guys wear cutoffs? Flannel shirts?
I don't know how to explain it.
So hold on.
Yeah, no. So southern wasn't the right word. Mike's going to kick me in the ass. Damn it. I'll never do that again.
So no one in the band is named R.R. Williams.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, Mike Williams is already taken, so
Gotcha.
Mike got the
They're all
RR from
Daryl.
something with his dad.
This Southern band, right? They're all Daryl and there's Pete.
Well, it's just punk. It's just punk rock, okay? God damn it! Hey, rewind. Rewind on
He's like,
that fucking thing. Country punk, cow punk. I don't fucking know.
Cowpoke.
That's an actual thing, right?
Yeah, cowpunk. I've heard
Yeah,
that before.
cowpunk.
So
I suck at genre shit anyway. It doesn't matter.
Is that what they play
It's
in
just music,
Stillwater?
and I like it.
at swinging
But-
udders, what they call cowpunk.
Yeah, I got a new band called Swing and Udder. It's cowpunk.
So, but Mike and I did record an album like 8 years ago,
Okay.
but it was called Mike Williams at the time. But it was Mike, John Moreland, and myself, and then Stephen Egerton from The Descendants did the production kind of thing on that. So I've been, doing that with Mike 8 years ago. So we haven't been doing it for 8 years, but 8 years ago we released an album and stuff. And
Right on.
so whenever he was talking about doing his solo stuff again, I was like, hell yeah, dude, let me get on that. So that's the R.R. Williams
Gotcha.
story. The Southern punk country
Cowpunk.
band, whatever the hell. I
You're
don't
in
know.
trouble.
Yes, and hey, if you guys want to come, the new band added to the bill, Swinging Udder,
Which is actually a band.
You're right.
with a new hit, Cowpot. No, terrible. Stop it.
Well, I know both bands, the Normandys and Grinded, both sold out the Vanguard doing headlining gigs.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this, both of you guys together. So kind of talk about, have you guys played, well, I know you played at least one show together before, because you played Thunder Underground Fest. I don't know if it's the same day, but
Mhm.
you're both on the bill.
Yeah.
Have you guys played before? Like
did
I
a couple times.
We played the Shrine together. We played Canes together for Cancer
Yes,
Sucks.
Freak Juice.
Freak,
yes.
yeah.
We played Juice Lounge.
Yeah, Juice Makers Lounge.
So
So
save the shrine, slave the clock tower.
Donnie Rich, I love you, but save the clock tower. Hurry up. That guy's into saving. No, I love the band. I love Pete's band. I love the Normandys. And I'd like to think that, coming up, you rise to a level of professionalism, maybe. The way I think about it, that I'm not there, but they are. And I get to play with them. I really appreciate that. I mean, it's something that, during the pandemic, I have to say, I enjoyed it. There was nothing to do, and I like it because I liked it. I don't know why.
Right.
I didn't have to write. I didn't have to play. I didn't have to do anything. I just got to breathe. And it was nice. But now that things are coming back, I had that time to think and go, man. And I told CJ and the rest of the band while this time was off, I was like, think of the bands that will not come back from this. That will not. Kind of the playing field's kind of level for all of us at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we have an opportunity to swing for the fences, and maybe that door is cracked a little bit. We might get our foot in. I understand we're all middle-aged guys, but we might get some good fucking shows out of this deal,
Right.
So if we can keep our level professional and keep playing with guys like from the Normandys, I think only great things will happen for Pete, CJ, myself, the band. But I think that the music business, everyone is they want it. 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 And I've missed it. I'm sure you have.
Right.
Your guys have. And it was hard to get motivated during this time off. So with this show and all the rest of them, it's I hate to say this, but before I don't think I ever took it seriously enough. You know what I mean? It was a little cavalier or just kind of, I get to do this. Now I'm like, now I'm going to do this. So until the opportunity runs out. And that's kind of where we're with the Vanguard and any other show we take on. So.
Yeah, I kind of heard that this year might be the year for the local band because like a lot of the bigger bands and stuff are still a little bit reluctant to get out there and start playing shows and stuff, even though we kind of see a few of those shows starting to happen and trickle in. The local bands have an opportunity now to like really, like you said, put their foot in the door, like really come out swinging for the fences and say, hey, we're here, we can play these venues, we can do these shows, because
there's a lot of bands that will not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you guys and the Normandys, were pushing to save the stages and stuff like that. So to move that even further, getting out there and playing these shows and helping out the venues and, obviously helping ourselves and it's a win-win for everybody right now. But certainly for local bands, if they want to put in the work, which is, I guess that's the hardest part for local bands is actually putting in the work or knowing how to effectively put in the work. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's why playing shows with Grind is so beneficial to both parties because they put in the work, they know how to put in the work, they push the shows, the Normandys does the same. And so having two bands like that on a bill is always just brings in the crowd.
That's right.
Well, I mean, since we're at this love fest here, that was kind of one of the next things on our outline. Kind of talk about what are the Normandys to you and what's Grind to you, and that kind of thing.
Everything.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw them, we played a show with you guys, and I didn't know who you were, and I think it was the Vanguard, maybe the first time. But I knew one of the guys in the band. He used to play with Failsafe.
Uh-huh. That would be me.
That was you. No, I almost said that, but I don't want to be wrong. I was like, I knew one of the guys. I'm like, that's all right. Sorry. I thought that was right, but
But depending
edit that part.
But depending on when you saw us, the guitar player, Chris Cartwright, also played for Failsafe, so both of us were.
And I was like, I love that band. I love Failsafe.
Yeah.
So I was already in. So, but when you guys played, man, you guys best.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
So good rock and roll, good fun. And I like rock and roll. And I like good shows. And the Normandys, that's what they do.
Right.
You know?
That basically the same. I mean, it's pretty much ditto what he said.
Except he knew who I was.
yeah. I had no idea. No, I'm just kidding.
but when you were playing with Failsafe, we didn't know each other. So
yeah. So anyway, yeah. I mean, same thing. You know, you just when you see a band and you see them perform, you know, professionalism, getting on and off the stage, just carrying yourselves like a professional. Grind has always done that, and love the music, love the performance, and just.
Well, I mean, for me, if I can get in on this a little bit, you guys each are different. You guys are more of a punk thing. Grind, I think, is more of a hard rock thing. But I think the common thread is just like a meat and potatoes rock and roll. At the core, that's what it is, and that's why we dig you guys and wanted to have you on. And, I think that's very important. I think that's whether you're going to go off and do a hard rock thing or a metal thing or a punk thing, you have to have that, like, just meat and potatoes, just oomph. And you guys both have that. And I think that's important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Our deal is we're having fun. I mean, that has to be the key, number one. In short, we're all entertainers. Isn't that what we do?
Right.
We entertain. Mm-hmm. So we might as well put our craft to what we do. And my new goal is just to entertain the people and just let them forget about where they're at for a minute. Mm-hmm. If I can get them chanting and singing, that's what I'm going to do. And then if everyone had a good time, that's fine. I mean, we know what we do. We're monkeys. We're monkeys on the stage. We get it. But we like doing our monkey stage dance. And, I mean, it's got to be like that. We have to look at it that way. At least that's the way I look at it, I mean, I don't know how people look at us, but I know how I see myself. And I'm just like, you're just a moron.
Throwing caution to the wind, getting up there and just letting it all hang out.
Just go. You cannot think about that for a second. You just got to go.
Yeah.
Well, what can we expect from both your bands in the coming year? And I think I'll start with you, Dale. Not to put you guys totally on the spot. I'm not going to get sensational, but you mentioned a lineup change earlier. How was that? Did you go through a lot of guys? How did you find the right guy? And then, what is coming up for you next year?
Well, this is the change up kind of happened during the time off, and there was a level of commitment that we couldn't go on the road, so we had to change that. So now that the doors are open, we're going to go on the road if it allows us to. So with the new bass player and the new lineup, there's a new level of commitment, and we're going to record some new songs.
Right,
it's on and the new addition. One thing, a band that we weren't before is we weren't a hard rock band. We are now, and the level of talent has raised. The vocals in the band have raised. We are a singing band now, and we put another showman up front. So all you're going to get is just a bunch of arrogant assholes kicking ass.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I think we reached that level, but now we have to harness it. And all we want to do is I never ever thought that what we do for fun would take us to give me an opportunity to say the names of the guys that I grew up with, watching and listening to. That I've been on the bill with them,
right?
You know what I mean, and that kind of stuff. So since the opportunity has raised for us, we're gonna go hard. We're coming.
I'll jump in.
Go ahead.
I know I'm not supposed to technically be on this,
but come on, we're coming.
No, yeah, come on.
There's no rules around here.
We didn't audition a bunch of people.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't answer that
it's-
question. Yeah.
We had the fortune to have a friend of ours that is very accomplished in his own right. I mean,
Have you
he's a
guys?
Nashville musician, session guy.
Yeah.
He toured with Michael McDonald.
He was a writer for Michael McDonald.
I mean,
Wow.
the guy,
Oh, wow.
he's very accomplished in his own right and can sing his ass off. So we always said, like, if we ever had to make a change in that position, that what we really wanted was somebody that not only could come in and do what JD did for us, and he did amazing for us. He's a great player.
JD was great, man.
But we needed somebody that could take it to the next level, be what he did playing wise, but also sing. And I think what Ryan brings to the band, which hopefully we can showcase next weekend, is a more full sound than we've ever really been able to have.
And he's a showman. I mean, you're going to have 3 showmen up front. Like, it's going to be a show. And that was kind of the goal. Like, you know, we're not great to look at, but goddamn it, we're going to throw a fucking show.
Bro, speak for yourself.
Well, normally when I'm at a show, all the ugly girls are on his side, all the hot ones are right in front, and all the gay guys are in front of JD. But I had to change all that. I stole that from Michael Starr, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
No, Satchel said that. I'm sorry.
Well, since the Normandys are all good looking,
Are you saying
we're not going to actually put on a show. We're just going to stand there.
We don't even have to plug in.
Yeah, right.
So were you saying there wasn't a single person in the crowd watching Brian?
Never.
Okay.
Oh, no. He's got his own fan club.
Yeah.
When I play,
so.
there's this big circle, and they all stand around. That's my fan club right there.
What about y'all? What's coming?
Well, for this Saturday, you're going to hear a couple of new songs. So our goal is to get an EP out, and that's probably just what we're going to do for every year. Hopefully, is do something, release an EP, so that we can keep music forward for everybody. But this year, that's our goal. Like I said, at the show, you'll hear a couple of new songs, and we're really excited to get those out there.
We'd planned on covering a Normandy song, but
You
guess
should
that's
have.
out.
Oh, yeah. That was another
Since you
show
know I'm
that we
playing
did.
some new songs.
We played that show together where everybody covered another Oklahoma
He
artist.
put that
was
he
his
put
idea.
that together.
That
Yeah.
was great.
Paulette and I, she was really a big instrumental part of that. But yeah, it was a cool concept.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was fun. I think we played a Skytown song, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
We got covered by
Dirty Crush.
That
Yeah,
was
Dirty
cool.
Crush played Mr. Harvey.
Oh,
They did good. They did a very good job.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And we played John Moreland, so nobody.
Well, kind of playing into that, and back a little bit on the stuff we were talking about earlier. Like, I've always been a fan of diverse bills, and I mean, I consider this because you guys, even though you're both like he talked about,
We're kind of like the turd in the punch bowl. I was like, they're all
Well,
punk rock bands, and then there's us.
Well, I don't know
Hey, I'm
about
a
that.
punk. You're a punk.
But
you guys-
like
you
what
guys both
Jason
do
was
that.
saying, though, it's all kind of the core and the root of the music is rock and roll,
Right.
and every time we've tried to do the headlining thing, we've always tried to bring diversity. We don't want to just bring a bunch of bands that really just have the same formula. You know what I mean? So bringing Grind along, and I think previously we had I don't remember the name of the band that was on last year, but anyway, we've always tried to split it up a little bit and have just different genres of rock and roll. I mean, it's all fucking rock and roll, right?
No, that's
So
right.
yeah, that's what.
It's always been a good fit. The Normandy grind shows have always gone off really well.
Mhm.
When we played with Freak Juice, I thought that was even better. You got like a trifecta.
Mhm.
And Tori was like, we need to take this on the road. You got the punk rock, you got the hard rock, you got the funk and soul fusion thing they do. And I mean, it's a pretty complete experience if you're going to see that show live. So
yeah, that was
a great lineup.
great. Yeah,
And we got to do that twice.
Are you plugging Tori?
No, I'm just.
yeah.
Hey, Tori, what up?
Follow the Buzzards was the band I was going to say that.
Oh, okay.
We had them
They're
along
fun.
the last couple
What
times.
happened to those guys?
They're still playing.
I think
Yeah.
I'm
Are they
not
still
really
playing?
sure.
They're a
Yeah.
fun band. They're
They were at the what was it, the Tulsa Music Awards that year they played?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
What happened to that, by the way?
Well, it's I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I assume,
know last year
the
they did the
pandemic
digital.
shut it down last year, but
Well, they ended up doing a digital one last year, like a virtual one. I mean,
well, apparently I wasn't invited, so that's why I don't know.
but as far as this year, they haven't said anything. But I would assume they might in the fall. I don't know.
It was the Price of Right, little mountain climber. Like,
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I have no idea. You'd have to get one of those guys up here to see what that is. Because I haven't really seen Ryan doing a whole lot of
I'm gonna say
stuff.
tag Ryan Paquette and be like, "What's up with the awards?"
And
What up, bro? Yeah.
Roger hadn't said much about it, so maybe I don't know, man. Logistically, those kind of things that everybody's tried it. We earlier when we were talking before you started recording, we were talking about Tulsa World doing the Spotnik Awards and stuff like that. But it happens for a few years. It's really cool. The musicians like it, but it's really like.
It's very.
It's hard to get the fans engaged in that. So it's really just a bunch of fucking band. You know what I'm
the
saying?
way it was. Yeah. Don't get me started on that, but yes. So I was just wondering what happened with it. But by the way, we did win an award the first year that it took place. We won Single of the Year.
All right.
Yeah. We had to share that with Had Enough, right?
Oh yeah, they kind of did the fakeroo. They're like, they announced him, and we're like, "Oh, that's cool, man. That's our homie. We're all cool." And then they announced him that we didn't even hear it, and everybody's like, "You guys won too."
Everyone's patting me on the back, like, "You got to go up." I'm like,
We're like,
"What?"
we didn't even hear it because we were
They're
all just like,
"You guys won Rock Single of the Year," and I'm like,
So yeah, it was.
"Had Enough just won."
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like a co.
It was weird.
Like a tie type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
don't
Have
ask
this-
me how that
We
happened.
have this. Yeah, I don't know what the
Apparently
award is,
it
by the way. No, I know what it's.
Well, the good thing
You
about
guys
being
won, right? You guys won
Yeah,
punk
yeah.
rock.
Yeah.
we've won punk rock every year, so that's the good thing about being in punk rock.
Now I'm gonna start a Southern punk band, and I'm gonna win that award.
Yeah, you should. You should.
R.R. Williams is going to be pissed.
Yeah, right.
Beat him out.
He's never going to come on this show now. Way to go.
Well, you should have Mike on here.
We'd love to,
He's got he'd have tons of stories, from his Agony Scene days and his
Dude, how
Merlin
many bands
Mason
have you been in?
days.
Like
Me?
every time I hear you talk, you're like, I was in this band.
Well,
It's been like 35
Currently,
bands.
he's in like 31 bands.
And I mean,
The
it's
thing-
like,
the
why
thing
don't you-
about only
somebody
being
in a band last
mediocre, the thing about being mediocre is you can play in a band for a little while until they find somebody better.
You just go in there and stuff.
Yeah,
I like this.
yeah. Well, I mean, I was in the band for a week, so I didn't tell you how long I was in the band, right?
Right. You played in some like accomplished, bands though, and done some cool shit.
He's
Like,
fucking Pete Webb.
I know. I'm like every time I'm like this motherfucker. Like you were in that band and this band. And
Well,
this
I've been around for a long time. I'm an old
You are an
crusty
old dude.
fucker, so
Damn. Get
But,
you on Medicare.
yeah, right.
Hey, do you need me to go get your walker when you leave?
My first Tulsa show was 1996, opening for Clutch at Kane's Ballroom.
That's badass.
And you were with?
A band called Petrofiend.
That's yeah.
You guys remember that?
Yeah, I remember playing with you guys at the other side.
Yep.
And I didn't put it together until, a few years ago when we started doing the podcast and you had said something on Facebook, "Oh, my old band." I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then you said something about Failsafe.
Mhm.
And I'm like, fuck, I took a fucking marketing class at TCC with the singer.
Oh, Jake.
Yeah, and I'm like, that guy's out there.
Dude, that
And I'm
Jay
like,
guy,
holy, it's like it all comes around. I'm like, it's a small fucking world.
I was outside the King's Ballroom night, and I was fucking drunk, dude. And he came out, and remember, he used to wear that white vest.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Why are you wearing a life jacket?" She hit me inside like, "What are you, Marty McFly?"
I actually have a funny story about that. We played St. Louis.
You guys were
Little Rock.
By the way,
it was in Little Rock.
I loved your band though.
Damn.
I fucking loved your band.
We got pulled over in Little Rock. We had our van and our trailer, and we had air fresheners hanging because
they're like
just a bunch of
what
fucking
you
dudes in a
boys
van,
smoking?
you know.
Yeah.
So we got pulled over, and cop comes up and he's like, "Hey, you can't have all those things. It's obstructing your view." And I'm like, "Well, you know, you got to smell this fucking thing." You know, tell us. So anyway, he's like, "Is there anything in here that you guys don't want us to find?" And this and that. And I'm like,
"Yeah, that guy."
And I'm like, "There's nothing in here." So he's like, "Well, come back here. Go back to the cop car." And then, you know, Jake gets out and comes back there and he says something to the cop. And they're like, "Everybody get out of the van." And I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck,"
Whoa.
right? So Jake had, unbeknownst to the rest of the band, had a pistol under the seat. So we're like, son of a bitch, right? This was going to be a move on and go on about our business thing.
Yeah.
So then they're like, "Where's your, you know, paperwork on it?" And he's like, "Well, Oklahoma doesn't require paperwork." And they're like, "All right, so open your trailer. We want to see what's in the trailer." Well, what's the first thing on the top of that fucking trailer? That dumbass bulletproof vest.
Oh!
Yeah. I'm like,
That's what it was.
it was a bulletproof vest.
That's
so
what it
I'm
was.
like,
Because I asked him, like, "Why are you wearing a life
fuck,
jacket?"
man, we look like bank robbers or some shit, you know? Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So that's how that went. And
His old flap
by
jacket.
the end of it, it was okay. We gave them all T-shirts and took some pictures with the drug dog because the drug dog didn't find anything.
That's even better.
So
Oh, that jacket. It's notorious.
They
I
brought
want
a drug dog to smell your fucking.
yeah, they brought it
Trailer.
because what they said
That's
is
great.
that the highway we were on was a high drug trafficking, and they see a bunch of dudes in a van with a trailer, you know, whatever bullshit they came up with. They saw air fresheners hanging from the mirror.
They
That
look like there's a dead body in that
They
thing.
pulled you over for too many little trees. That's so fucking hilarious.
yeah, and there were a bunch of them. I mean, it was like, but you guys know when you go and you do shows and there's a bunch of sweaty people getting in there after playing and unloading and loading equipment.
Hey, by the way, THC stole my cabinet. Bunch of sweaty dudes loading gear.
Oh,
They just loaded my cabinet right on the trailer and took it
to Minnesota.
Took it to Minnesota.
Oh, I remember that.
I don't remember. Yeah.
The night at the Kane show.
Yeah.
Our gear was sitting over here, and THC just all the gear that was sitting there just loaded it up.
It wasn't them personally, but like somebody helping them accidentally. So now we have grinds spray painted on everything.
Yeah. We tagged all our shit.
Yeah, it ended up in Minnesota. They were cool though. They brought it back, and
I had to drive 2 hours to get it, but
that's true. It was a couple of weeks later before we got the cabinet back.
old Big Rich was having a good time with my cabinet.
yeah.
Come on! Give me back my cabinet.
He was stuffing marijuana and
Yeah,
fried chicken in there.
I was talking shit.
Well, in another small world thing, I'm not sure which failsafe band member it was. One of the guitar players or bass player. Their dad was our computer teacher at Broken Arrow High School.
I know him.
Mr. Jackson.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
John didn't. Yeah, the guitar player.
Right.
Mhm.
And I knew that because I think it was Kaz's one time. I don't know if you were there or if it was just like me and Josh and Eric and all them. But I'm like, what the fuck is Mr. Jackson doing here in Kaz's? And I go up to him. He's like, oh, hey, I remember you. Because I'd been out of high school maybe 5 years by then. I'm like, what are you doing here? And he said, oh, my son's playing at Kane's, opening for whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it's just a small world thing all over.
Yeah, John didn't, man. He went on he does like, builds websites and stuff for bands like Dropkick Murphys. And
oh, wow.
he does almost all the stuff for the guy that owns McNally's and all that stuff, the McNally's group.
Oh.
He does almost all of their stuff.
He's a few years ago, 100 years ago, I got a DUI.
Mhm.
And I had to go to DUI school. I don't know who it was, but it was one of y'all's dads.
One of your dads.
I think it was him.
One of the felt-safe dads.
Well, that's how I thought. And then I met Pete earlier. I don't know if you remember, but I met you early and you don't remember. But that's how I got turned on to Failsafe.
Huh.
So
Was
that
it
was
DR school?
That was in 2005.
Those
Bro.
Those are the days, man.
Yeah.
I remember.
Isn't that right? You guys were running about that time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if you want me to try to remember something in
Well, no,
2005, I surely wouldn't.
I remember I got a DUI. It was like 2005.
Yeah.
when I had to go to DUI school, they were talking about the guy that at DUI school that finished and then went to the bar next door. When it was at like 51st. Well, it's all
on Harvard.
Yeah, it's all
Or on
raised
Yale,
over
or
now.
Yale. It's all done now. Yeah.
But he got done. He graduated, went to the bar, and then left the bar and got another
pulled
DUI.
over.
Oh, jeez.
And they always told us that fucking story.
So that I can fit in, I also went to DUI school.
We're all degenerates.
And I remember there was a guy there, and they asked everybody, how many times do you think you've driven drunk? Right?
I was like,
And
you don't got enough fingers and toes, buddy.
Well, this guy was like, well, let's see. I'm 50, and I've been, 16. So every day since I was 16 years old, I have driven drunk. And they were
You
like,
told him that?
no, not me. Some guy in the class.
Because they make you tell your story.
I only
They
drove
make
like
you tell your
half
story.
that many times.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but yeah,
other day.
it was crazy when they did the math, like
Right.
how many people just
It's insane.
yeah.
Dude,
We have to do better, is what I'm saying.
You know what? It's not that. I'll deal with the drunk drivers. The motherfuckers who are looking at their phones all the time driving.
Well, mine was an APC, so I felt like shit anyways. I felt like a huge piece of crap.
Mhm.
When you're in there, they make you tell your story, like what happened to you that night. One dude was like, well, I was at my apartment and I was doing shots of vodka, and we put Valium in each shot of vodka.
Holy shit.
And then my buddy called me and said, I need a ride. So I went to get him, and that's when I got a DUI. And I'm like, Jesus, maybe I'm
What?
okay.
How'd you even
Well,
drive?
I thought at least I pulled over this guy. He's fucking doing shots of vodka with Valium. So I mean, I can tell these stories all afternoon long.
Yeah, sure.
And you have to go. But anyways, yeah.
Then you have to go to DUI school.
So,
Yeah.
Jesus.
CJ, have you been to DUI school? I haven't. So.
I have not. You and I
Alright.
are the lone survivors.
All right, cool.
We're terrible then.
you guys are not part of the cool kids.
Not the cool
I would
kids.
not call that the cool kids club.
Yeah,
Let's
no
clarify
shit.
real
It costs
quick.
a lot of
Pete Webb
money.
does not
Yeah.
think that that's the cool kids
Hey,
club.
It costs a lot of money to get out of the Cool Kids Club.
Well, and it's cost some of our friends their lives, so
Yeah,
Late
that's
keep that in
travels
mind.
That's
and
right.
driving home, at 2 and 3 in the morning, you see a lot of potential suspects on the road.
Yeah.
Driving all crazy. So, yeah. I've had to
I see
dodge.
that any time
It's almost
of the day.
like Turtle, man. Or what was that? It was Frogger.
Frogger. Yeah.
Yeah,
Turtle.
I had to frog my way through some of these guys over the years.
I see that coming home from work at 4 in the afternoon.
Well, that's the cell phone.
yeah,
Yeah.
the cell phone
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I had a girl, I was on Riverside, I was going to work the other day, and she totally just come into my lane. I drove up in the grass, and I was about to hit this sign. I'm pretty sure the sign said, keep off the grass. You know? And about the time I think I'm going to hit the sign, she moves, and I get back over, and I get to the stoplight, and she's just staring at her.
Right here.
Staring at her, yeah. And I was, no, staring at her steering wheel, because if I'd have saw a cell phone, I was going to get out of my truck and take it from her and throw it in the goddamn river. For real. I'm like, really? Come on, man. But I get passed by people all the time, just, they're doing their hair and looking at their phone
Yeah.
and driving.
Yeah, mascara.
Yeah. I got a buddy, he's a legend. He says, I can smoke, drink, and drive at the same time, and text. Look, you're nuts.
Hey, remember when you used to have to text by hitting all the numbers on your phone?
What you do?
Yeah, I used to have a buddy that was like that. He'd be driving and he'd be doing. I'm like, dude, you got to watch the damn road, man.
Yeah.
And
We're going to
I got so good at it. I didn't
yeah,
know what
I got so
no,
good at
fuck you. We're going to some fucking casino in West Oklahoma in the middle of nowhere to see Rat and Warrant and fucking, I don't know, Brittany Fox or some shit. And he's
The greatest glam band of all.
Yeah.
You know, and it's when you have to do all the different
I know you're
the
on
letters and the
I'm
numbers.
on your team. on that.
And I'm like, dude, stop! You're gonna kill us. Somehow he never did, though. Thank God.
You got voice text now, though.
Yeah, I don't do
that's
that
not
anymore
too
because,
bad.
like you said, if I really need to do something, I just voice it or just don't do it.
Yeah.
But I was bad about that early on.
Remember how big Brittany Fox's hair was? Dude, that's like the... They were
Hey, are
the-
you making hair jokes? Like, what the hell?
Dude, it was the fucking bomb because everybody, had their teased up hair, and then
Right,
Brittany
right.
Fox came out and it was just this big
I never got
There
to
was
go
always
Brittany
one-
Fox.
That Long Way to Love song is like one of the greatest glam riffs written. That riff is so cool. It's, I don't know.
Who was
They're
that?
cheesy as hell. That got played for Cinderella too. I don't know. A lot of people maybe not know that guitar player was the original Cinderella guitar player, which kind of makes sense why they kind of sounded like Cinderella.
Yeah.
I think Tough. You remember them? TUFF. They had huge hair.
Didn't they make jeans too?
They were like one of the last
Didn't they make
bands
jeans
to get
too?
signed out of LA in that era.
Tough skins.
That's what it was.
They were.
Hey, I always had to have the Huskies. Okay,
Ah,
so
that's
I don't know anything.
Wasn't
about
that any
Huskies.
band too? Huskies?
Probably.
Not
If
that-
not, it should have been.
Not that I think I ever have to worry about playing with those guys, but like I went out to Hollywood in '89, and they were like they had just got signed. They were the last of kind of that era, and it's kind of like the low end of the gene pool. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were like
It's when the C and D.
they were just kind of like they weren't quite that, So
Yeah.
but I remember those guys.
Right.
I sat outside. I think one of those clubs. I don't know, it was Roxy or one of those others with Mark from the Bullet Boys and Steve Rochelle from Tough, and he was talking about their new record, and I'm just like, bro,
Isn't that guy like this tall?
not very. Most of those rock stars aren't very big, little bitty guys.
Well, I know the singer for the Bullet Boys. He's a little guy. That's why I asked.
What are we going to do when the Bullet Boys and Tough and all those bands are just gone?
Well, some of them
Who's
I'd be
next?
okay with, but
Yeah, Tough can go.
Well,
hey, you better watch out. They're tough.
Yeah, right.
Too straight.
I'm just waiting for Pretty Boy Floyd to do another show.
Yeah.
Remember that video where that Pretty Boy Floyd singer tried to come out, and Mark from Bullet Boys is like, basically, get the fuck off my stage?
No, I need to look that up.
Yeah, he tried to come out and like sing at some show I guess they were doing together.
There you go.
Is it Mark Torian or Torian? How do you say his last name?
Remember
He
when
was not having it.
Mark Torian, he came off stage and got arrested for child support, and
On stage.
Wait, it gets better. It gets better.
Oh, I almost said something bad. But
So then the ex-wife is there, I guess, to see it, and the ex-wife is dating the singer from Candlebox. So that guy takes a picture of the guy from Bullet Boys and
Kevin Martin
and posts it on social media.
Hey, don't get Dale started on Kevin Martin.
So I mean, that's just that's like genres coming together.
Hey, we're back to where we started. The genre's coming together. That is a good way to go.
But you want to know the biggest hair of them all? You remember Jet Boy?
Oh yeah, that's
I actually
right. That's
don't.
right.
I don't remember Tough or Jet Boy. I must have gotten out of it.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
they were on the low end of the
Hey,
gene
I don't
pool,
like
bro. They're
sucky
kinda
music. I don't listen to sucky music.
I like XYZ with the Mohawks.
What's that
Big
fucking
up
band you
MCs.
like? Every time you get drunk, you want to listen to that shit?
Junkyard.
No, I love Junkyard.
Yeah, Junkyard's good. Their new shit's pretty good too.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like Pretty Boy Floyd.
No,
This guy's great.
it's Britney.
guitar.
It's
Britney
Britney
Fox.
We were just talking about.
And I was just like, oh, you fucking killing me.
They're, I'm telling you, the greatest.
Dale and I knew when to get out.
I knew when to cut my hair. And,
They were not writing Mozart. I'll
Damn,
give
they
you
ran
that.
out of band names.
But
this fool gets drunk, and that's what we go to.
well, that
80s
and
hair metal, yeah.
what's
I'm
the
alright
other
with
band
that.
you hate that I played?
That's the one I'm talking about. It's Pretty Boy Floyd.
It ain't Pretty Boy Floyd. I don't ever play that.
It's one.
I saw their
every
CD.
time it comes up.
I was at their CD release party though. That's something that I can say.
Well, you should be, because that's gay.
They opened the show with Toast of the Town, the Motley Crue song.
That's weird.
Yeah, that was what they opened their show with. It was actually, they had a pretty good cover of that. But yeah, that
Think Motley Crue's ever gonna do the tour? They pushed it back to 22.
Man,
Well,
have you seen that video? of-
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Mick's gonna. I hope
Vic's,
Mick gets to
I'm
do
not
this.
worried about Mick. I'm worried about Vince. He's
Yeah.
going to have to get his...
damn.
Because Mick's always
Vocal
wanted,
straight.
like, I do better when I'm on tour because I
Right.
have something to do.
Yeah,
and I
right,
look at my
right.
hands and I'm
Yeah.
a better player.
He's moving around. Yeah,
Vince-
yeah.
But then
Vince
there's
is sounding
also
rough.
there's this factor that's called I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care. Whatever.
They're gonna have Mick like Hannibal Lecter, like
Yeah.
somebody's gonna come in with a doll and he's wheeling across the stage and be like, "I'm over here,
Yeah,
we'll be over there."
yeah, and somehow he's still not going to be the spectacle. You know,
He's great.
Yeah,
He's-
Vince Neil. I saw them
He's
with
great, man.
Alice Cooper in Oklahoma City, and man, even I guess that was like 5 years ago or 4 years. Man, that shit was horrendous.
Yeah.
That dude forgot words. He's like mumbling like this.
Have you
is
seen that
not
video
good.
where he's singing "Kickstart My Heart"?
And they're-
It's like booty
they-
couch on my head. Like,
Subtitles.
yeah,
It's so funny.
I laughed. I watched that thing like 50 times and laughed hard
But
every
then
time.
when you watch like the Carnival Souls DVD they put out, he fucking sounds great. Like
You know, that's called editing. There's
he
called
has it
editing.
in-
There's called editing.
Yeah.
he has it in him, man. I ain't giving up on you, Vince.
Hey, the protein.
I'm not giving up on you, man. I
Bring
bet
back
you got
John
it in you.
Karabi. Bring back
That's
John.
right.
Yeah.
Bring back John.
They
All
should
of
have
them.
never got rid of them.
Just tour the 84 album the rest of your lives. I'll go to every show. I'll be
I
the
don't
only
know,
one that
man.
shows up, but I'll be there.
I saw a video of them in the 80s, and I thought it sounded like shit too. But back then, they didn't have
He's got
the
it in
internet.
him,
And they didn't have it like, you know what I mean? Now everything's so readily available. As
Well,
soon as somebody does some dumb
They
shit,
got
it's-
fucking auto-tune. You think you'd be fucking close.
Well, if-
Like, just lip sync, dude.
right now, I mean, like
That's-
right now, if I was Nikki Sixx, I'd be like, "All right, motherfucker,
Yeah.
you're my employee. I own the name.
That's right.
You're going to do this, this, and this."
Nikki Sixx doesn't care.
He's done.
They've
He's
been
made
doing
his-
it
He's
for
done.
years.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
that's a
For
great
years,
point.
you've been
You're
trotting him
right.
out there, and Vince has sucked for
You know what
years.
Mick always said? He goes,
Right.
it'd be nice if the songs were sung in key.
Yeah.
Like,
They're not singing key. He doesn't sing half the words, and it has nothing to do with him being.
I like what, I hope he
He
sings
sucked
when
before he was fat.
if I ever see him, I hope he sings that line, "Booty couch on my head." Whatever that is, I'm ready. I'm gonna be listening for that shit. Booty couch on my head. Fuck yeah.
Hashtag that in this.
Yeah.
Booty couch on my head. Vince, hey, Vince, it's all you, bro. You get all the props for being
Hey,
in
tell
charge.
him the story about.
If you really want to impress Grind and the Normandys, you'll learn how to sing again.
Right.
Yeah. So, Motley Crue came to Tulsa, the BOK. They played. Oh, no. They came to the. What's that other place? Before the BOK, we had the BOK downtown. The Civic Center or
Convention
The
Center.
Pavilion?
yeah. So
No, that's not
Motley
that.
Crue was there, and it was the Carnival of Sins tour. I went a month previous and saw him in Kansas City, so I didn't come to this one. So Vince was throwing a meet and greet at this place on Brookside called the Sway. So I bought tickets to that. So I went, and Vince shows up. He got some trashy ass girls with him, look half retarded. And he comes up the steps, and he's shaking hands, and I shake his hand. He's got a fucking $100,000 watch on his hand, right? So I shake his hand, I see his watch, and I turn his hand over. I look at his watch, he goes, I was like, sorry, dude, I was just looking at your watch.
jerks his hand back.
He's
like
like,
you're
like I was going to steal his watch or something, but I was like, nice meeting you, bud.
That's great.
That was my Vince Neil story.
we met Nikki Sixx, though. That was cool.
Yeah, we met
like,
Nikki Sixx, yeah. Rocklahoma.
I mean, you know, that's the cool thing about what we do in these bands is
Sixx was cool,
we get
yeah.
to play live shows, all that's cool, but we've gotten to play with or meet some of like our heroes. Like I grew up with fucking Nikki Sixx and Ace Frehley and all these people up on my wall, and then you play shows or you're interacting.
I wanted to be
with
John
that.
Karabi, and I've
it's
hung out
fucking
with
awesome.
that guy.
That's
You know,
definitely
like-
been a great
Yeah. I wanted
fringe
to be
benefit.
John, and we've got to hang out with him. We played 3-4 shows with John, and he's
John Karabi is
he's
the
the shit, man. He's the shit. I love John.
Good dude.
Yeah, he is.
So sorry, Vince.
Hey, so before we get off here, We gotta, and I don't know if you're getting close to wrapping up, but
No, yeah, this is actually our last thing.
No, we gotta
I know
find
where
out-
you're going.
we
you
gotta
gotta
find
do
out-
Metal Dave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's where we were going. First I wanted to start with, you shared that story on Facebook.
That's his story.
His
You
story.
gotta tell a story.
So I was wanting to know, was he a pallbearer and saw you? Is that
You gotta do it. Okay, so we had a death, and we were burying the body. We were doing the whole procession thing.
Yeah.
I'm carrying the coffin.
So you're a
Somebody goes,
pallbearer.
I'm a pallbearer.
Okay.
He was like, "Hey, motherfucker, what's up?" I'm carrying the coffin. And I'm like, "Dave!" I'm like, "Give me just a second." We put the coffin. We put the coffin on where it needs to go down, and he's just right there. He's like, "When are you playing next?" "I'm gonna be there." I'm like, "Bro, you're trying to put somebody in the ground here."
Time and place.
I was like, "Give me a minute." He's like, "Okay." He literally walked back 10 steps and just stood there and waited. He's like, "Hey, this is a bad motherfucking singer right here. Badass fucking band right here." And I'm like, "Dang." And then the people that didn't know me were like, "You're in a band. You're in a band." I'm like, "This isn't the time." So finally the preacher realizes what's going on. He's just kind of like, "Hey, over here, over here, over here." And then it kind of calmed down. And then as soon as he said the prayer, he was like, "What's up, man? I'm coming. And I was like, "Okay, man. Fuck yeah. Come on."
Gee.
True story. Swear to God.
Wow.
It was great.
Well,
It's my memory of him.
That's right.
And you know what? Every time we play, that guy was front row
Right.
in my face.
Yep.
And I'm like, "What's this old dude doing here?" But you know what? He loved it.
Yeah.
Whether he loved me, who cares? But he
Right.
loves all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he loved Tulsa music.
Yeah, he did.
And he was dope. He was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Dave.
Yeah, he was always there.
For sure.
We'll miss you, man.
Yeah, I feel like Badass Renee's. I didn't go to a show that he wasn't there.
Yeah.
As well as other places.
Even when it was Old Memorial Lounge
Yeah.
or whatever,
Dude, we play
always
the
saw him in
Shrine,
there.
we play the
man.
Vanguard, we play wherever. He's right there.
If we walked in a place and I didn't know he was there, I would know he's there really fast. I would hear, I mean, the biggest, loudest voice you could ever imagine.
I still see that was one of the greatest stories. I'm at a funeral and he's like, "Best fucking band, greatest fucking singer." And I'm like, "We're laying a guy to rest," and I'm like, "I'm the showman." That's right. It's all about me.
That's what I shared
Isn't that terrible?
the other day. That to me, his legacy was like watching every band be like, he was there for us from the beginning. He was like one of our number one fans. So many bands felt like he was like their number one supporter.
Right.
Like Pete's saying, like he just was a great,
Yeah.
legacy to the Tulsa music scene. So
I don't think I've ever met anybody that loved it more, you know what I mean? Ever.
Right.
Like, as much as we say we love it, he loved it more than we did, I think.
Yeah.
good dude.
Yeah.
These are fun times, man.
Yeah.
I will miss getting flipped off during my guitar solo.
I partied with him one night at Rocklahoma. It was me and Gunner, Derek, the guitar player, what's Randy's, for THC,
Cooper.
Randy Cooper, and Metal Dave. I took my son to go see Bullet for My Valentine. They want to say Bullet for My Valentine. I dropped him off. I got so fucked up with those guys. My son had to drive me home, and he didn't know how to get back from Rocklahoma. We made it, but yeah, I've had some good times with that guy. It was fun.
He was a trip. For sure.
Man.
Rest in peace.
Here, here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cheers.
Right on, guys. Well, appreciate you doing this, talking about this show coming up and all this other great shit about how much Vince Neil sucks.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? There's like a 5-minute conversation about how much Vince Neil sucks, and I only made one comment.
Oh,
That's amazing. Usually you spearhead those conversations.
I'm still like, I believe in him,
Okay.
man. I think he can pull it out.
nah.
I'm pulling for him.
Nah, fuck
Yeah,
him.
I don't think you can.
What about that? I want to ask you two. What do you think of that new Volbeat song?
I fucking love it.
Do you really?
There you go. Pete Webb of the Normandys, Del Diver, and CJ McClellan of Grind. A huge thank you to all of them for coming over, sitting down, talking to us about this show, and of course, all kinds of stuff. Usually when you sit down with anybody, especially with Del Diver, you're going to go on a lot of different subjects. And I think that's what we did.
Hey, that's good, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Love all these guys. And it's been, I mean, I know Del's been on here now. It's probably like the third or fourth time. CJ, this is, if you can't, I mean, you got to count him as being on here because he talked a little bit. So
Yes, he did.
this has probably got to be his like fifth or sixth time.
Yeah, exactly.
He might be like six, and he might be in his own level now, 6 or 7.
Well, and
I need to look that up.
deservedly so.
Yeah. But I say that to say it's been way too long since we had Pete on in the Normandys. That's actually been probably like, hell, I didn't look it up, but 3 years probably.
Yeah, exactly.
So, very glad to finally get some Normandys love back here on this podcast, as it should be. And once again, this Saturday night, June 12th, the Vanguard, the return of the Vanguard, it's their first show back. The Normandys, Grind, R.R. Williams.
Don't make ghosts.
Don't make ghosts. I almost said we make ghosts.
Hey, I'm here for you.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so check that all out. $10 at the door or $10 in advance, whatever. Make it happen. All right. A huge thank you to them and a huge thank you for checking us out. If it's your first time listening, subscribe to us wherever you're listening so you don't miss future episodes. Follow us on all the socials. Like, share, retweet, and reshare, whatever it allows you to do. TheThunderUnderground.com is the website. You can listen to the podcast there as well. You can listen to us most anywhere podcasts are heard. Spotify, iTunes, all that kind of stuff. And we have 320 plus episodes you can check out. Recently we had guys from Buck Cherry, Dirty Honey, who else? Haunt. Why am I just drawing a blank? But
that's what we do. We say in every goddamn episode, I'm going to write a list. And we never do.
But going back in the past, earlier this year, we had Brian Wheat from Tesla. We had Paige Hamilton of Helmet. Last fall, we've had on guys from Typo Negative and Prong. We've had on guys from Shinedown and Trapped.
What?
We've had on Vanilla Ice. We've had on Gene Simmons. So just dig through there. That kind of runs the gamut for you right there.
Right. And, upcoming, we might have somebody from Void Vader.
We might.
We might have somebody from Tetrarch.
We might.
But who knows?
But there are two people we definitely will have.
Oh, yeah. And who was that, Trent?
Austin Moe.
Right.
He was on here earlier this year. He's making his return.
Right. We got a great interview with him coming up.
And then Damon Johnson is returning for the 5th time.
Hell yes.
So that's very cool. Something I never thought we'd be saying. So that's probably next week's episode, Damon Johnson. But in the meantime, we've got several in the can, so more coming. Check it all out. And I think that covers it for another one. All right. Once again, a huge thank you to Pete, Del, CJ from the Normandys and Grind. Huge thank you to Hell Hot Sauce, Sunset Tattoo, Med Farm, and DEB Concerts. And until next time.
I hate the fucking new Lamb of God band.
The new band? What do you
Chris
mean?
Adler was
Okay.
fucking Lamb of God.
Right.
I cannot stand to hear them go, and it goes. Chris was like, can't do it.
Thunder Underground, y'all.